Welcome back to Salarywatchman and yet another Salarywatchman Chat along with my brother here, Wen Wei, and the other
Bok Choy Brothers.
So instead of going elsewhere to film this today, we decided to stay home to be safe from the COVID environment.
Yep.
And today what we had was Mian from L32 Geylang.
One of my favorite.
One of my brother's favorites, so we decided to tapao and have a good time here. And today's collection of watches in the trio here is specially loaned to me by a friend, and his name is Mr. V. So thank you, Mr. V, for lending us these watches. I think it's beautiful pieces, very stunning. So the last time we spoke when we was all our father's watches, right?
Yep.
It's so cool that some things come together. Like for example, Mr. V saw the video and he said, hey, there is a father's watch that he has as well. So he wanted to share his story with us, and in fact it is here today. This is the Rolex President, reference number 1803. It's special to him because like his father, when he passed on, he actually passed this down to Mr. V. It's so classic since 1950s or 1960s.
Wow,
so since then, this is essentially the reference day-date, right? It has been designed since a long time. Until today, if you look at the catalogs, it's still the same.
Yep.
Yeah, and the beautiful part of this is it's 36mm, it's always been. And they tried to put 41mm last time, but it didn't work out. So right now, what's offered is 36 and 40mm. Fun facts of the watches. Did you know, Wen Wei, that the Rolex President, was made only in special metals?
Nope.
Always special metals, but in one time, they made it in stainless steel. According to one of the auction houses called an Antiquorum, they only made 6 of them.
Wow, that's
the whole
very
lifetime.
limited edition.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you ever see a Rolex Day-Date stainless steel version going at a good price at auction,
don't buy, let us know. Yeah.
let us know and then we'll go and bid for it. Yeah, because those are very valuable. And second fun fact of the President is the debut. It has 26 languages.
Wow, that's a lot
It's
of
amazing.
languages.
Yeah, and these are the 26 languages right here.
Wow. Inclusive of Hokkien like Bai Si.
If we ever made a Singapore Asian version, yes, I think it would be nice to have all the different dialects as well. And then lastly, for the Rolex President, you know Marilyn Monroe?
Yep.
Yeah, one of the most excitable chobu personalities out there in Hollywood.
During the time.
Yes, and you know John F. Kennedy?
Yep.
Yeah, so he was one of the most popular presidents in the United States. And Marilyn Monroe actually gave John F. Kennedy one of the Rolex President day-dates before as a gift because she was a lover of John F. Kennedy.
I didn't know that she gave
it was
her.
hush-hush lah. John F. Kennedy actually told his staff to get rid of it, and somehow it came out of auction houses also lah. It started to pop up. And then the highest level it ever sold off was 120,000 USD.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and behind the watch it was engraved Jack with love always, Marilyn, May 29, 1962. Wow, so there's a lot of fun facts about the Rolex President Day-Date, reference number 1803.
Maybe for those who been noticing the watch, you may have seen that there's precious stones that is surrounding the watch. So actually Rolex selects the precious stone themselves and they have their own gemology and gem setting department. Rolex being such a reputable company, they always outsource it. But I guess they probably want to maintain the quality standards required of the watch, which is why they do the sourcing themselves.
Correct. When the gemstones are actually factory setted, it's actually factory set. Wrong English, bro. When the gemstones are factory set on the watches, the value is really different. Than if you were to bring the watch to after sales regem to zeng the watch. But the funny thing is, usually when some watches they give the cert of the gem also.
To prove the authenticity of the stones.
But somehow they don't produce certs. But we all take it that it's high quality. And you can tell from here, the gem has not fallen out.
Yep.
Right? So it just shows how good quality since the 1960s.
Maybe allow me to bring you all through Cartier. So it always strikes me as a brand that is more renowned for the jewelry and also perhaps maybe for the bags. Yeah. So jewelry, one of my favorite being the love bracelet, as you can see, similar to the bracelet design that you see on this watch currently. So I only recently found out that Cartier has been manufacturing watches since 1904. Yeah, quite some time ago, where Louis Cartier was inspired by his friend Albert Dumbledore. Actually, it's Alberto Santos Dumont, who was a famous aviator then.
Yes. So that brings us to the second watch today of Mr. V's collection. That is the Cartier Santos. This is the XL, extra large version. There's so much history. It's the first modern wristwatch, man. For me, I love aviation.
Yeah.
So back then, men used to wear watches on the, as a pocket watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he flew the plane, he couldn't access the watch easily. So Louis Cartier actually helped make a special watch to be put on the wrist. It's practical, right? You can wear the watch and fly. So there came the Santos. It was big, it was legible. You can see the time in flight. And ever since then, it's been iconic design till today. It's so beautiful,
simple,
right? Simple,
clean.
elegant.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the Cartier Santos, it was also released as a rectangular size. Yeah, in 2005 it was done, but it was only in limited pieces. For now, they still keep the square.
The squarish design.
Yeah.
Again, for those who happen to find the rectangular design, please let us know and we will.
Oh yes, please leave your comments below if you find it. And that brings us to the third piece today, Rolex Submariner. As you can see, it's a special one because it's a blue dial, blue bezel as well, the Serochrome bezel, and it's a dual tone, half steel, half gold. Yeah, so the story behind this, Mr. V. Mr. V, our friend, he always loved the Submariner. And good choice because it's actually very popular now.
Yeah.
And it's very sought after as well. Yeah, and also same for the Cartier, I didn't mention earlier, sorry. He also liked the classic look of the Cartier, so he also decided to buy it.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, so fun facts about the Submariner. So Wenwei, do you know that the Submariner was actually used in James Bond films before the Omega watches?
What I didn't know.
So in 1964, with the most classic James Bond ever, Sean Connery.
What I thought was me. Okay.
You're the Singapore James Bond, bro.
Okay.
So he wore the reference 6538 on the James Bond films. Sean Connery had 4 movies wearing that Submariner.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so it was made popular. A second fun fact of the Submariner is, there's a French diving company called Comex, C-O-M-E-X. They had partnered up together and commissioned Rolex to make special dive watches for the divers.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so it happened till 97. 97, Comex was sold off and then the partnership stopped. But if you ever see a Submariner, right, with the Comex branding on the dial, it is super, super rare as well. It's super valuable. Okay. And talking about valuable dials, the other valuable dial for the Submariner is a Tiffany & Co. one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
also very rare to buy. And one popular co-branded Rolex Submariner with Tiffany & Co. was the one that Sylvester Stallone wore in Rocky.
I see.
The full gold version, black dial. It made me so inspired. I'm going to watch Rocky again. Okay, question to you, right? Of all the 3 watches here, which would you pick if you had one choice?
I mean, I'm someone that actually more 念旧啊。Yeah, so
What's
I
that?
said
What's that? Sorry.
like 怀旧这种啊，what is it in English? Nostalgic
Yeah, you like watches that make you think of the past.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Good.
I'm someone who is a bit more nostalgic lah. So if you all watched the last series, for those who haven't, please go and watch it. Yeah, that we cover a lot about our dad's watches, and I can especially feel it more from Mr. V, because my dad has also passed on, and I also gotten the watch from him lah. For me, I'll probably choose the Rolex Day-Date. I think when we wear these watches, it does bring back memories of the times that we spent together. So I'm someone that likes watches with date and day timing lah. So I thought this watch will suit my requirements.
I'm so glad that we did the segment on the father's watch.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a very hard choice also because these are all beautiful watches.
Yep.
And likewise, I've always liked the classic Rolex Day-Date. If it's so trendy for the last 70 years, right, it's going to be trendy for the next 70. So it was a hard choice. I was actually choosing this or the Submariner.
I see.
Yeah, Cartier is also one of my aims to buy this. But I think right now because I have the GMT, so if you put side by side, right, the GMT and the Submariner, they're like cousins, and the blue and the gold really goes together, I feel, in terms of aesthetic purpose.
I see.
Right now, today, if I were to choose, I would choose the Submariner.
I see.
Yeah, both are actually yellow gold, but somehow the recent yellow gold seems a little bit darker, and I thought it was rose gold at first.
Yeah, it really looks like rose gold.
It's actually 18K yellow gold. I hope you guys enjoyed our little tour of all these 3 wonderful watches. And once again, thank you to Mr. V for lending us these watches. And also, thank you Mr. V. Yeah. If you have any other watch that you want us to talk about, and give us more reason to meet up, and so please put your comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.
Yep, and it's the Bok Choy Brothers
Signing off. Take care. See you on my next one.
See you.
Oh dear, what's my reference? I forgot the reference. Hang on.
Google more about it.
Yes. Right here, we just want to talk casually and for more information, please go and check out Google. Then I'll try my best to go and find.
Yeah.
At least I got a reason to go and find, right?
Yeah, I can leave it in the comments below.
Okay.